Alright guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be taking the LR Janemba into the Legendary Vegeta event. We're going to see how he looks on a 200% leader skill because I've got to say, this LR Cooler is a phenomenal partner with the LR Janemba. Like, they are sharing the main links that Janemba needs activated to be good. And I got to say, I mean, they're just a very good linking partners in general. So yeah, we'll go over Janemba's kit and everything, but before we do that, I just want to say I really appreciate the support y'all have been giving me. It really does mean a lot to me. You know, you guys have been liking and subscribing, and again, I just really appreciate that. So on that note, you know, make sure to like and subscribe. And I do have a gaming channel too that I've been uploading a lot of God of War videos on, so if you're interested in that at all, make sure you check that out. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and then okay, let's get into it. So yeah, here we have Janemba. I gotta say, this is like peak yellow coin LR right here. This guy is good. I really think this guy aged phenomenally. He's a little over a year old right now, and he's still one of the best units in the game. I mean, with this 200% team that he's on right here with the fifth form cooler, honestly, it just makes him so much better. So, okay, so yeah, let's get into his kit, I guess. So for his leader skill, we have corroded body and mind, or movie bosses category, key +4 and HP attack and defense +150. Pretty bad leader skill, but most yellow coin LRs don't really have good leader skills unless they start giving them full 200%. With the worldwide celebration that we just had, the yellow coin, or I guess the carnival coin, Bird Goku and Metal Cooler both were just straight 200% leader skills, I think, for Powerful Comeback and Wicked Bloodline. So if they start giving that to these yellow coin LRs, I think that'd be really good, but I got a feeling they're just going to keep that to the carnival coin LRs. So, okay, so with his 12 key and 18 key, we have causes colossal damage to enemy and lowers defense on his 12 key, and then on his 18 key, it causes mega colossal damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. I will admit, okay, he doesn't get any attack or defense on any of his super attack effects, which does kind of suck. Most units that are good tend to raise defense or something on their super attack effects, so it for sure does suck that this guy doesn't have that, but at least he's doing something, right? I mean, he is lowering defense and then greatly lowering on his 18 key, so the fact that he's getting something in that super attack effect is still good for sure. But I think, honestly, it wouldn't have made, like, this guy crazy OP if they just gave him lowering attack and defense, and then greatly lowering attack and defense on 18 key. I think that really just would have helped him be utilized more in Super Battle Road and stuff like that. And it wouldn't have made him, like, crazy broken or anything either. I think it would have actually kind of made this guy, I mean, just age a little bit better, of course, but just make him work better in, like, Super Battle Road and stuff. Because he is a unit that builds up, right? Man, that stutter was bad there. He is a unit that builds up, though. So, you do want to take him in these longer events. So, or, you know, relatively longer events. Alright, so then for his passive skill, we have attacking defense plus 120%, guards all attacks within the same turn as the first or second attacker in a turn. So basically guaranteed guard as the first or second attacker. And then he gets key +2 up to 6, and then attacking defense plus 22% up to 66%, with each attack performed as the second or third attacker in a turn. High chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks directed at this character. Okay. So that high chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks directed at this character, I don't know why it keeps on going away. That kind of, like, I don't want to say makes the unit, because it really doesn't. The guard probably makes the unit, but that is like 50% of the unit right there. That is great. Not only is it Ki Blast, which is most of the, like, hard damaging bosses in this game, they do Ki Blast super attacks, so, you know, he does a Ki Blast counter, so that's great, but it's nullifying. So it's not a counter, I guess. It's a nullify, which means even if they cancel dodging, this guy is still getting it off, which is great. So, like, in the Broly fight against Movie Broly, he cancels dodges, obviously, but because this guy nullifies it, you can still get that off, and you could still take no damage from it. Granted, it is a coin flip, so it's a high chance, but still, that is so useful. That's going to help you out in so many scenarios, so I think that's really good. And then, yeah, the key +2 up to 6 and the 22% attack and defense up to 66% is really good because it just kind of helps him become better offensively and defensively. There's a very big difference in him not built up at all and him fully built up. We'll see it in the video here. But unfortunately, he only builds up in the second or third slot. So the sweet spot for him is going to be that second slot where he can get the, you know, the attacking defense from his passive to fully build up, and he gets the guard. Because remember, he's not guarding in slot 3, so you for sure want to make sure that if you're in a hard event, you don't want to bring him in slot 3 or put him in slot 3 because he's going to take a lot of damage. Because like I said, guard is like 50% of this unit. So you want to make sure you have it. So yeah, slot 2 is that sweet spot for him. And then once he's fully built up, you can just throw him in slot 1 because he would be a pretty good slot 1 unit fully built up. So yeah. And then he has the Rage, which can be activated when HP is 66% or more starting from the 6th turn from start of battle. So not a horrible condition. I would say it's not necessarily great, but I mean, that's not horrible. It could be a little bit worse. And in his Rage mode, I actually really like this. He gets a high chance to crit from his super attack effect. So if you watch my Cell video that I did yesterday, I said that these kind of giant form characters have to have built-in key and crit for them to be useful. So built-in key or built-in crit, both just makes him crazier. But this guy does have built-in crit and key. So instead of getting guaranteed crits, it's just a high chance of a crit, which I still think is really good. I mean, for sure, it's going to be useful. But it is only on his super attack effect. So if you don't get a super attack off, you don't have that high chance to crit, which isn't really too much of a deal breaker because he does have a key mechanic where he gets an additional key +1 per key sphere obtained. So I think that is a little bit better than just like a base 2 extra key, because as long as you get like 2 key spheres, then you have 4, and then 2 you get, and then 3 you get 6, and et cetera, et cetera. So I do think this kind of mechanic is a little bit better than just a base like 1 or 2 key. But yeah, he does have the crit and the key. So I mean, it is a chance to get them, or it is a chance to get the crit, but I still think it's very useful. It is a high chance, so 50%, so it's a coin flip. So it's still a very high chance. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it with his kit. We'll go over his links and his categories at the end of the video in the ranking system. But yeah, he has no skill orbs right here, so he could actually be looking even better in this video if we had any. And I would say go full additional so he builds up a little quicker, because remember, he's getting that attack and defense and key with each attack performed. So if you get an additional off, it's just going to help him build up even quicker. But unfortunately, he's built full crit right here, which there's nothing I can really do about. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I have him on a team with a lot of support, and I am not exaggerating. We have a lot of support right here. Actually, this second rotation, we're going to have, I think, 90% support, which is crazy to think about. So yeah, unfortunately, he is in slot 2, though, so that is kind of a bummer. Yeah, I'll just do this with you. And then, God, this Janemba, he's at 226k defense with 30% damage reduction in guard. And he's getting 30% on super attack effect. So keep that in mind. I mean, I know this Janemba, this tech one right here, I know for sure he's nothing crazy, but I mean, he could be good at times. Look what he's at right now. Defensively, he's great. Only 3.3 million, though. Not the greatest attack stat. And he is supporting. So that is pretty good on his end. And then 6.2 with the cooler. And this guy isn't even built up at all because this is the first turn. So, man, yeah, this team is just crazy. That's basically what I'm trying to say, is this team is going to be, it's going to be great. That's why Janemba being, I think, his first 200% leader skill is really nice, because this team is just insane for him. So, okay, so links-wise, we have Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, Brutal Beatdown, and Fierce Battle. So we've got a lot of links active right here. We're only missing Feared Faith, Shocking Speed, and Legendary Power, which Shocking Speed gives some defense, but I don't know about Fear and Faith. Yeah, that gives 5% defense. Does this give? This doesn't give defense, right? No, it's just key. So, I mean, technically, we're at max defense with links right here. So we're at 300k defense, and we have not built up at all. But again, keep in mind we have 90% support right here. So this is a very, very good rotation. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw this guy in slot 1 because I don't want the STR cooler to kill, because I believe he could triple super right here. Oh, are you serious? We're literally going to be 1 key off. Okay, we got it. We have to. We just got to see what his 18 key is going to be looking like without any attack and defense from his passive. So yeah, he's not built up at all, and he's got 90% support. So let's see what he's looking like after this attack stat, which is, yeah, 2.8. Not really anything too crazy, but Garlic Jr. is kind of old at this point, so I'm not expecting too much from him. Hey, you know what? 6.1 is pretty good. I can't lie. I can get past that, considering we are not built up at all. So, oh, perfect. We got 2 attacks off. So now we only need 1 more, and we're fully built up. So next rotation, we'll have 44% extra attack and defense and 4 extra ki. And then after that, that turn, we'll be fully built up. So, cool. I think we get... Oh, I was going to say I think we get an LR cooler with him on that rotation too, but we don't. Although we're still going to have a lot of support. We're going to have 90% defensive support. So we're still going to... We should be around the same defense. Because we'll have big bad bosses and stuff like that activated also. Because Turles shares it with him. Who we are getting him on rotation with next turn. So yeah. But yeah, I do kind of want to link up the Janemba with the 5th form cooler right here. Because, again, they just share the big links that you need for them to be very good. And they just really work well together. Because if you can get the Janemba fully built up, you can throw him in slot 1. And then you could throw the cooler in slot 2. Because this cooler... The STR one right here is a slot 2 or 3 unit because he's getting so much of his defense on super attack because he's getting 50% defense on his 12 keys. So if you can get those additionals off, your defense is skyrocketing, especially if you get multiple. It's like your defense starts to get crazy. I think you can get over 1 million with him fully built up and just like a couple of additionals. So okay, so this is a great turn for him right here. We have Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, Brutal Beatdown, and Fierce Battle. So the only thing we don't have active is Shocking Speed, Fear and Faith, and Legendary Power. So 25% attack and 7% defense, which is for sure a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay, we're at 431k, and we still have one more. So we're going to be looking at like almost 500k defense when we're fully built up. And keep in mind, that's with guard. So that's crazy. Yeah, very impressive. Very, very impressive. Let's see what his attack set is. So we're at a full 24 key super right here, and we're at 90% defensive support, only 40% offensive support, but we are much more built up than we were last turn because we got that additional. So yeah, this rotation, or this attack stat right here should be crazy. 9.4. Yeah, dude, 9.4 with 430k defense with guard, and he has a 50% chance to nullify Ki Blast super attacks. So, I would say that's pretty crazy, dude. I would say that's OP. That's OP as hell. That's very, very good. I mean, yeah, that's what a 200% leader skill does to you, man. That extra 60% makes a big difference, especially with units like these that rely so much on stats because of his guard and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to rotate... Yeah, I'm going to rotate you off because you're a 50% support, and I'm going to keep you on here. And then, yeah, we should be good right here. I do want to get this cooler right here with the Janemba because not only does he share, I think, 4 out of 7 links, but he's giving the 50% attack and defense. So, for sure, a very good unit to run alongside him. And this Janemba is also a fairly good unit to run alongside him. But they are only really getting like big bad bosses, Metamorphosis, and I think one other link active. So for sure, I think some of the coolers would work better with him. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, okay. Links-wise, I think we're going to be looking very good right here. Okay, so not as good as I thought, but we do have Legendary Power active, which is going to make a difference. So we had Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power active. We have 40% support, and yeah, we're at 430k defense still. So I think because we lost some support, but we gained the extra stats from building him up a little bit more, it kind of evened it out. But still, 430k defense with guard and a high chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks is very, very good. I mean... Depending on what his attack stat is right here too, which is full 24 key, so keep that in mind. This is a very good rotation for him. Depending on what his attack stat is right here, I think that could go very well with that insane defense. So hopefully we don't take too much damage right here. Yeah, double digits. Okay, so we are tanking a super, but this shouldn't kill because Garlic Jr. can still kind of hold his own in this event. Okay, that's some damage, but look how much health we have. That's still good. So, yeah, 9.39. I haven't even mentioned that he's been greatly lowering defense, too. I mean, it hasn't been active because, of course, this Vegeta, you can't lower his attack or defense. But, again, if this were something like Super Battle Road, I think that'd for sure be very useful. So, yeah, I gotta say, pretty solid showcase from the Janemba right there. That is crazy. That is very, very crazy. I mean, again, that's just what a 200% leader skill does to you, man. That's why we got to revisit these units. Because, I mean, granted, this guy was still very good without the 200% leader skill. But I'm sure if he wasn't on it, he would be looking very different. Still very good, but just different. I'll say that. So yeah. Okay, so this rotation right here is going to be, or not right here, but the one after this with the Janemba is going to be very good. Because, again, we're going to have 90% support, and we're going to have every link active except for, like, Legendary Power, Fear and Faith, and I think that's it. I think we're going to have, like, Shocking Speed active. I'm pretty sure. Okay, that's a lot of damage. We're just barely alive right here, right? Oh, no, we still have almost 200k health. Alright, I'm used to seeing these big numbers and thinking, like, oh, we're dead. But, I guess with this amount of HP, yeah, we could survive stuff like that, which is just crazy to think about. Because we don't even have a full LR team. If we were running like LR Metal Cooler, if we were running some of the LR Friezas, we would for sure have a lot more HP. So the fact that we're already this high on HP and we have multiple TURs and stuff, granted, you know, we have the EZA Turles and the EZA Cooler. Still, they're not LRs, so they don't have as high of HP stats. So, you know, I think it just goes to show how crazy, again, the 200% leader skill are. I mean, that extra 30%, it makes a very big difference. So, 513k? Dude, with guard? That's just crazy. Okay, so we're already built up, fully built up, so I guess we can just slap him in slot 1. Because I think I don't want the Cooler to kill, and I think the Garlic Jr. would die in slot 1, so yeah, again, 4 out of 7 links active, so we could be looking even crazier. I want to get him to a full 24 key just to get that little bit extra attack in. And, yeah, let's see what he's looking like. So we can't counter this Vegeta super attack because it is a melee. So, or an other. I don't really know how they determine it. I'm pretty sure it's a melee because it starts off with a fist, but, yeah. So he can't get it off, but 11.2. Dude, 11.2 with over 500k defense and guard and a 50% chance to counter Ki Blast super attacks. Dude, he's crazy. He is crazy. Oh my god, that is insane. Okay, so we're getting this off with the Turles. I think we'll do one more rotation with him because he is fully built up right here. And he's been fully built up for the past couple turns. So we have been able to see kind of what he's going to be looking like just for the rest of the video. But I just want to get one more just because why not? And then we'll call it a video and hop into the rating system. So, ooh, I'm just going to slap you there. Because you get the damage reduction, you'll have the support and stuff. I want Metamorphosis active, so I'll put you in slot 2. And then, yeah, we should be fine right here. Right? Okay, yeah, this can't do much, right? We got guard, type advantage, damage reduction. Okay, that's still a little bit of damage. And we're taking some right here. So maybe I don't have the damage reduction. I think it's locked behind 7 orbs. I don't memorize this Janemba's passive, so. Okay, of course he dodged. Of course. We do have the Dokkan mode next turn too, so. I mean, depending on how much damage Cooler does right here, we might be able to kill just with the Janemba straight up. And it depends how much support we have next rotation too, so. Come on, get some crits off. 6.1, if you crit for me, then, you know, that'd be great. Okay, so no crit. Still pretty solid damage considering we didn't get any crits off. And then 4.2 with this guy. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, this Turles is still very solid. I think because he stacks when he transforms right here, it just makes his stats when he is reverted back into his base form just crazy. So, I didn't really get to showcase the Rage mode with Janemba, which does suck. I could have had a chance to do it earlier, but I didn't. So, I might hop back in. I don't know. I want to pop that just so I can put the Janemba in slot 2 right here. So we have everything active except for Fear and Faith and Shocking Speed. And Shocking Speed is just defense, right? Yeah, so I mean, our attack stat right here is going to be, it's every attack we could get from his links. Or it's all the attack we can get from his links. And yeah, we have 50% support right here. And this is just a very good rotation for him. So, so let's see what he's looking like. I mean, we can get full 24 key right here, too. Yeah, I'll do that. And then we can get all these with him. So the Dokkan mode is on the Cooler, but it's alright. It's not really that big of a deal. I still want to see what his attack stat is, just kind of naturally anyway, so. Okay, let's try and get these all on keyboard and mouse. Or I should say mouse. Ooh, let's go! 7 out of 7. Alright. Alright. I think that was the first time I've ever done that. I'm pretty proud of myself right there. That's a first. Okay, so SDR Cooler is at a little over a 5 million attack stat right here, so that's pretty good for sure. Definitely pretty solid. He got the crit off. 10 million, yeah, 10.6. Dude, that's crazy. If we got the Dokkan mode with him, I believe we would have killed. I'm pretty sure we would have killed. If this crits, we could still kill. Okay, if the Cooler crits, we can kill this rotation. But yeah, over 11 million attack stat is just crazy. And then this guy's at a 12 million. So this just goes to show that they really just complement each other so well, the Janemba and the Cooler. If you're running the Janemba slot 1 and the Cooler slot 2, you will destroy everything in this game, and you will tank everything in this game. I mean, I guess maybe super attacks could do some damage, but if you get lucky with the additionals with Cooler, you're going to tank everything perfectly fine. And the Janemba, I mean, he has that high chance of countering Ki Blast super attacks, or nullifying Ki Blast super attacks, so, I mean, you'll be fine there too. Alright, sorry about that. I had a technical difficulty. My game crashed, and I was about to win anyway, so I just figured I'd hop back in to showcase his Rage mode, because I didn't get that off in that run, and I feel like it's pretty important just to show off. So, I mean, disregarding the 513k defense right there with guard, yeah, I do want to showcase his Rage mode, so, yeah, skip active skill off, because I want to play this. And, yeah, let's just see what this looks like. I mean, I forget these animations. I haven't used this unit in forever. Which is probably why I'm so surprised about how good he is. Okay, so, alright, so yeah, it looks like we're looking great with Ki, mainly because that extra 1 Ki per Ki Sphere obtained. I think that's really kind of coming in clutch right here. Yeah, got a 12 Ki with every single one of the Janembas off. Unfortunately, no 18 keys or anything, but, I mean, it is what it is. I am curious, how much damage are we going to be doing? Now, we do have type advantage here, so the damage is going to be a little bit better in general. Okay, 2.4, not the greatest. I mean, still kind of solid for a kind of giant form or rage mode, whatever you want to call it. But keep in mind, this has a high chance to crit right here. So, I mean, hopefully this one can crit right here, because the first one didn't get a crit, and then the second one got dodged. So if we don't get a single crit off, that's kind of going to look bad. Get a crit off here, come on. Okay, yeah, we got the crit off. So yeah, I mean, the high chance to crit, for sure, it can be utilized. Unfortunately, this is only 1 turn right here, so it would be better if it was multiple turns for sure, but hey, at least it's something. So, 1 turn is better than nothing. So yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty useful right there. We got some good damage in. For sure, if you get those crits and additionals off too, and if you get lucky with Ki, you'll get even higher attack stats than that. I mean, he was only hitting around, what, a 2.5 million attack stat right there? But for sure, with better Ki and better crit chance, or better crit luck, I should say, you could do a lot more damage there. So yeah, I mean, that was his rage mode. Pretty good, I'd say. Really useful that he has that. And let's hop into the rating system. All right, guys, so we're here in the rating system. I do want to specify before we get into it that these are rated 1 through 7 with Dragon Balls. So if you see 3 Dragon Balls, that means it's a 3 out of 7. If you see 4 Dragon Balls, it means it's a 4 out of 7, etc., etc. So, all right, so getting into it, for offense, I gave him a 5 out of 7, which might seem just a little bit low for you because I know he was hitting like 10 and 11, like 12 million attack stats in this video. But I do want you to keep in mind that he was fully built up, he was under a 200% leader skill, rainbow level 10 links, he had a lot of support, and he was like, well, yeah, I guess that's it. That's pretty much it. He was looking very good with links too. So, that was pretty much the best scenario with him. And, I mean, over a 10 million attack stat is crazy for sure. But keep in mind, there was no crits, and there was no additionals that we could have gotten there from his passive. He had none of that built in except for in his rage mode, which is for sure useful, the crits you could get from that. But I think, just hitting a 10 million attack stat is good, but considering how it's hard to get him fully built up too, because, he only builds up in slot 2 and 3, and if you're running him alongside the STR Cooler, you're going to want to run this guy in slot 1, because the STR Cooler you can't run in slot 1, he's a slot 2 and 3 unit, so it kind of makes it difficult to build this guy up if you have him with the STR Cooler, and that is his primary team, so, I don't know, it just kind of makes things difficult with him. Because if he's not fully built up, he's not going to be crazy offensively. Like we saw at the beginning of the video, he had like 90% support, but he wasn't built up at all, and he was only at like a 6 million attack stat, which is still good, for sure. But it just goes to show you really want him to be fully built up. That is really when this guy is going to start hitting like crazy numbers. And even when he hits those crazy numbers, there's no like crits or additionals built in. So I think a 5 out of 7 is a pretty little, it's a good sweet spot for him. So moving on to defensively, or for defense, I gave him a 6 out of 7, which, I mean, I guess you could argue a 7 out of 7 because he's at 500k defense with guard, and he has the 50% chance to nullify Ki Blast super attacks. But keep in mind, 500k defense, that was with, like, a lot of support. And he was fully built up, which, again, is going to be difficult because if you're running him with STR Cooler, you know, it can be difficult to get this guy fully built up. Especially if you're in these harder events, you know, out of the gate, they're hitting so hard, you just have to throw this guy in slot 1 sometimes. If you have him next to the STR Cooler. You can't really do anything else. So, it makes it difficult to build this guy up. And then when he's not fully built up, he's not really doing these crazy numbers like he was doing in this video. So yeah, that's why defensively I only, well, I mean, I say only 6 out of 7, but dude, that's still pretty crazy. And I did take account for the 50% chance to nullify Ki Blast supers. I mean, dude, that is crazy, right? If they cancel dodging, it doesn't matter. He still has that coin flip to take no damage from it. So I do think that's very solid, for sure. And then moving on to links, I gave it also a 6 out of 7. Now, I think his links are great. I mean, he's got Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, Metamorphosis, Brutal Beatdown, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. The only reason I didn't give it a 7 out of 7 is because he has Fear and Faith, which for sure is a good link. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of extreme class units that have that, but all it's doing is lowering defense and giving him ki, and he does both of those in his kit. So this link isn't really providing anything for him. I mean, he's getting 6 extra ki when fully built up, which it can be difficult to fully build him up. So I guess the ki can be kind of useful, but that's only 2 ki at level 10. So if you don't have that level 10, it might not be the greatest. And him lowering defense, again, he lowers defense way more than 10% on his 12 ki, and you know, let alone his 18 ki when he greatly lowers defense. So I don't really think that's really too useful. I mean, the extra defense lower is nice, I guess, but is it really? I mean, it's not really doing too much. I think maybe if he had another link that maybe gave him some attack or defense, this would have been a 7 out of 7. But it is still very solid. You know, links like Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Brutal Beatdown make him link so good with these cooler units. I mean, so good. And with the link set like this, I mean, he's got Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. On a couple categories, I mean, those categories suck, but on a couple categories, you could run him with some superclass units and he could be looking good. So speaking of categories, with categories, I went ahead and gave him a 4 out of 7. Now, I know that's low, but hear me out. He only has 5 categories: Movie Bosses, Transformation Boost, Corroded Body and Mind, Exploding Rage, and Accelerated Battle. And I want you to think, when was the last time you used any one of those other than Movie Bosses or Transformation Boost? Yeah, like Corroded Body and Mind, you're never using. That category does not have a leader. The only good units on there is the Majin Vegeta and then the coolers. And then this Janemba, obviously. And there is a lot of coolers out for sure, but I mean, like, at that point, you're not running a Corroded Body and Mind team. You're just running a Wicked Bloodline team, which is crazy, yeah, but that's not Corroded Body and Mind. That's just Wicked Bloodline. So Corroded Body and Mind for sure kind of sucks. Accelerated Battle. Okay, you know what? That team's not horrible. It just needs a good leader skill, but maybe you've ran that in the past. I could see that for sure, because that team actually has a lot of good super and extreme class units, but we really just need a 200% lead for it. Honestly, I think if we just got like a not yellow coin LR, a carnival coin LR that was just a flat 200% across the board, just so all these extreme and super class units can all get the 200% buff, I think that would be really nice and very useful. But I don't know. That's just me spitballing here. So I guess Accelerated Battle can be useful. Exploding Rage, dude, that category sucks. Like, there's no leader for it. There is, but what are you running? The physical Beerus? Like, no. That team is not good at all. The only good linking partner with the Janemba on this team is the Frieza, the full power Frieza. But even then, they don't really work too good together. They just share like Big Bad Bosses, Legendary Power, stuff like that. So, you know, it's nice to have those active for sure because they're big parts of these units' passives, or these units' kits, I should say, not passive. But still, they don't work like that great together. Not as good as like STR Cooler in this Janemba. But yeah, and this category doesn't really have that many extreme class units. I mean, it does, but they're all like Brolys and stuff, and those Brolys aren't working that good with the Janemba. So So yeah, for sure not a great category there with Exploding Rage. Then we have movie bosses and Transformation Boost. Transformation Boost is good, but hear me out. It doesn't have a 200% lead, and that's what makes this unit good. That's why we're doing this video, is because we're giving him a 200% lead. So if he's missing that 60% attack and defense, he's not going to look as good on that category. But it does have that STR cooler who's giving the 50% support. You know, Transformation Boost is a pretty big category too, with a lot of super and extreme class units. So I'm sure you could put together a pretty solid team with this Janemba on there. But at that point, just run movie bosses. So yeah, I guess that leads us into movie bosses. Movie bosses pretty much carries the categories right here. This team is crazy for him. His link set complements his placement on this team so well. You know, he's got all these links that make him work good with all these movie bosses characters. But this isn't about links, this is about categories. And yeah, movie bosses as a category is insane. The amount of supports on here that are actually good and viable. Like the supports I ran with him in this video were all movie bosses. So, I mean, I did run a movie bosses team, but you know what I mean. Like, they were all viable. They can all hold their own for the most part. And yeah, they're very good. And this category is about to get massively buffed with the addition of all the superhero cards and all that stuff. You know, we still haven't gotten a summonable LR Broly. So when he comes out, inevitably, he'll buff the category. And there's just so much that this category still has to offer, and so much it's offering right now. So yeah, I think with categories, movie bosses for sure carries, and pretty much makes it the 4 out of 7. But the other ones can be solid in time with a good leader and some better additions to the team. So yeah, I know that was kind of short. I didn't really go into too much detail, but this video is already long enough. So I figure we'll end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.